And welcome back to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we're talking about the looming contract situation with Terry McLaurin and if it is time for the Washington Commanders to get a deal done with Terry McLaurin. And so before we go ahead and we jump into it, I first want to remind you to hit that subscribe button, just like Jaden Daniels is going to be hitting Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Zach Ertz, and many others for multiple touchdowns this upcoming season. And so in exchange for hitting that subscribe button, I'm going to give you nothing but daily content around the Washington Commanders. And so make sure that you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and you join the Washington Commanders Insider family as we talk nothing but Washington Commanders football. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into it. We're talking about Terry McLaurin, the extension watch, and what is the delay here. And so with Terry McLaurin, we last left off where he did not attend the mandatory minicamp. Before that, he left towards the end of the voluntary OTAs. And it's clear that he is looking for an extension as he is playing on the last year of his current contract. And so number one, I think it is time to get a deal done, and there are three reasons why it is. And so first point is that I think that the Washington Commanders need to eliminate the distraction, because I think that this is something that it's only going to build. And I think that Terry McLaurin has certainly handled it well. I think that the franchise has handled it well. I think everything points to something getting done at some point. But I think that the sooner that you get this done, the better off it is, especially with what the Commanders have coming at them this season. I've talked about this before, that look, they're going to be on the hard knocks with the rest of the NFC East. We know that the schedule is going to put the Washington Commanders on national TV a lot. So there's going to be a lot of eyes there. And then look, the rest of the National Football League, they're going to be coming after the Washington Commanders, So you're going to get the best shot from every team in the NFL that you are going to face this season. And I just think that the first thing that you want to do is you want to minimize the distraction, and you clearly want to focus, because that is what it is going to take for this team to push past the NFC East, get to the Super Bowl, and we're hoping that they win this thing. And so I think that you have to minimize the distraction. And so next, I think it comes down to just the production here with Terry McLaurin. It's certainly it says that you must reward him. And I think the sooner the better here, because Terry McLaurin did an incredible job with this team, not only when they were winning, but also during the tough times as well. When you look at the totality of what he has done, 5,000-yard receiving campaigns, that was done with 11 different quarterbacks. He's played with 3 different head coaches. And when you're talking about consistency, that is exactly what 17 is for this Washington franchise. And on top of that, that C on his chest, as far as the captain, he is the captain of this team, especially on and off the field. And when you're talking about just being or having a standard, with the Washington Commanders, he is that player that certainly embodies that standard with what he brings to this franchise. And so I think that you have to get a deal done. And last season, look, I thought that Terry McLaurin was special last season, especially when you just really look at the numbers. First and foremost, when it came down to the touchdowns, he was second behind Jamar Chase with 13. Behind him was St. Brown from Detroit with 12, and then Mike Evans. And so this is a guy that found a way to get 6 for the Washington Commanders. We know he was huge as far as being clutch. And then when you look at the other stuff that he brought to the field last season, 15th in yards. That's in the entire NFL with 1,096 yards. He had 22 as far as in targets. So he's ranked 22 in targets last season with 117, and he was 19th in receptions. And so Terry McLaurin produces yet again. And so, yes, it is time to get a deal done for Terry McLaurin. And lastly, look, you even have a Hall of Famer and a 6-time Pro Bowler endorsing Terry McLaurin. And he has not played a down for the Washington Commanders, and he hasn't played a down in the NFL in quite some time. And who would I be talking about? I am talking about Calvin Johnson, so Megatron of the Detroit Lions. And so if you've not got a chance to see this, you can go over to Rigo's Rag And within this, it is going to take you to a brief little clip of what was talked about on Up and Adams, the show there where they talk about several different football topics. But one of those topics was Terry McLaurin. And this is what Calvin Johnson had to say. He says, look, I'm assuming it's got something to do with the pay. So pay the man. The man has been nothing but consistent. I don't know Terry McLaurin very well, but from afar, the guy has been nothing but consistent for that organization. He's been a staple there in Washington for his whole career. He plays well. He steps up in big games, and I love watching the kid. He's always making plays. Come on, Magic Johnson, pay the man. But he actually says, come on, Magic. And so, look, I love it. I love the fact that he is also getting endorsed by Calvin Johnson, who was just definitely big time in the National Football League. But this even tells you, I mean, he's even got the backing here from multiple people outside of the team. And so, yes, I do think that it is time for Adam Peters to go ahead and step up and get the deal done. And I think when you start to look at the delay, I think maybe the biggest question here with the delay with getting a deal done with Terry McLaurin is just what is that deal going to look like, especially in conjunction with what you have with Jaden Daniels? Because I think that whatever happens as far as the years are concerned on the contract, I think it needs to line up with Jaden Daniels. And it also has to line up in a way that it's going to allow the Commanders to still add to this football team, because the bottom line is you're still going to have to bring in some young talent to go ahead and keep pushing forward as a team. We talked about this yesterday, that I think that Adam Peters is really doing a brilliant job right now when you look at his 2 draft classes so far, as far as going ahead and placing the Commanders in a position to where they're going to compete right now, but they're also going to continue that standard as we have some of our veteran players naturally leave the team. And so I think that this is one of those decisions where Adam Peters is going to have to play this smartly, because you don't want to hold out to continue, and you really don't want to rub, I think, Terry McLaurin the wrong way and then kind of, hurt that relationship. Not saying that I think that that is going to happen. I think that, he has said that he definitely wants to get a deal done with Terry McLaurin. They want him to stay here. And so I think that they're going to get something done sooner rather than later. But I think that that maybe is one of the things that you have to think about as far as paying Terry McLaurin, because I do think that you're looking at something that has to be in the $30 million a year. Is it a 3? Is it a 4-year type of deal? Not sure what that looks like. That's something that Adam Peters and Terry McLaurin are going to have to work out. We don't have too many details about where it could go, but I'm just estimating that's probably where we're at, because I think that, look, Terry McLaurin, we just went over the numbers. You have to ask yourself, is he a top 10 type of wide receiver? Because the market has been reset with Jamar Chase getting a deal done. And so that's why, it's better for franchises to take care of business before the market gets reset. But I think that this is going to be interesting. And so you guys let me know in the comments here what you guys are thinking about Terry McLaurin and this extension watch. Do you think that this is something that gets done here shortly, as training camp is not too far away? I think we're under 40 days now. So here in a couple more days, we'll be right around a month away before training camp starts. And like I said before, I just think that you just want to minimize distractions. And not saying that Terry McLaurin has been one. He's been terrific for this franchise. I just think that you want to take care of as much business outside of the field as possible before you have to really start to put in the work and gear up for the season. Like, no distractions for this team to get to a place that they have not been since Mark Ripien and that team won the Super Bowl. So you got to minimize those distractions. And then also, too, taking care of a guy that has been huge for your franchise. And so you guys let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking with this deal. What does it look like for you? Is it going to get done soon? Love to hear what the thoughts are. And as we always say, look, go Commanders, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, peace.